And good Monday morning. Sun is coming up. We gather together again. It's 51 as we wait for a high today to be around 76. It'll be warm. Beautiful the first part of the week, and we'll start to see rain moving in toward the end of the week. Details on the forecast as that develops this morning. A lot of fog to the southwest of Mississippi as we take a look this morning as we pull up radar. If you're in Louisiana, it is tough to see after you go through Macomb, get into Slidell, Louisiana, those areas, all the way back around 1090, back toward Baton Rouge, Beaumont area, Port Arthur. It is thick fog. Houma, Louisiana. Y'all be careful in those areas. Everything else looking good for the state of Mississippi at this point. A little bit of fog to the northeast of Birmingham as well as we follow this, but great looking day for Mississippi as we're seeing here. Over in Georgia, special weather statements there of what they've got going on with wind and whatnot. All looks good here. Got so much to talk about over the weekend that we'll discuss at 7 o'clock. That's up and coming. Right now, let's go to Collinsville. Let's get our good word of the day. Let's go out to the First Baptist Church.
Every single day, you and I face temptation to sin. How should we handle those situations effectively and successfully? Well, Genesis 39 presents one of Scripture's most powerful examples of how to do that. Joseph, far from home and really doing well in Potiphar's household, he faced repeated advances from his master's wife. And his response demonstrates like a master class in resisting temptation. Joseph had perfect theological and moral clarity. When confronted with temptation, he said, "How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" He didn't minimize the temptation as like a mistake or realize it was understandable given his circumstances. No, Joseph saw sin for what it truly is. Wickedness against the holy God who sees all. And when the advances grew stronger, Joseph's resistance grew stronger. He wasn't passive. When Potiphar's wife grabbed his garments, he ran, leaving it behind. His response is exactly what God would command through Apostle Paul later in the Bible. Flee sexual immorality in 1 Corinthians 6 and flee youthful lust in 2 Timothy 2. You see, sometimes holiness requires immediate, decisive action, not dialogue, not hesitation, but flight. Now, Joseph's obedience cost him dearly, didn't it? She lied and cried sexual assault, and Potiphar threw him in prison. Joseph lost his position and reputation, yet God saw his faithfulness and remained with him. So, beloved, what about your life? Are you minimizing sin's seriousness? Are you entertaining temptation rather than fleeing? Joseph always reminds us that holiness means seeing sin as God sees it, as great wickedness, and responding with whatever actions necessary to preserve our integrity before Him. Sometimes maintaining purity means running, even when staying seems better in that moment. Even when consequences seem severe, look, always remember, God honors faithfulness. And that's how you stand successfully against temptation. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that message this morning. Always a strong one there. Church coming up on Wednesday, and they'll have it again on Sunday. And, well, you need somebody in between. They'll help you as well. Morning. If this is your first visit to our show, welcome. My name is Scotty Ray. We'll tell you a little bit about what's going on nationally, a little weather, and then we'll get into the local and all things beginning at 7 o'clock this morning. All that's on the way. Not sure exactly what this is about and why it took 31 years. Several questions will have to be answered on this, but People magazine reporting this morning that the estate of O.J. Simpson is willing to officially accept a multi-million-dollar claim and pay off Fred Goldman after 31 years after that.
Wow.
Now, the girl that was murdered, wasn't there two of Nicole?
Nicole, that was the boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
That was his daddy, the gold.
So why is one being paid? There's a lot to be learned on this. We don't know a lot. But out of nowhere, 31 years later, Fred Goldman, Ron Goldman's father, could be paid off. What about her?
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved in this. And I officially thought that he was broke, and it may be something to do with the family of residuals that he's received since then, that they're able to settle all this stuff. Makes you think he was guilty, does it not? So we'll see. That's what the headlines are this morning as we start doing this. Target. And this is how bad it is, since in our area we don't have a Target. I think the closest one to us would be maybe in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the last time I walked into a Target. I was not aware that they had food. I guess in trying to compete with Walmart, they've done that. But they're saying they're going to drop the cost of their foods to make it the lowest ever for Thanksgiving this year. That's kind of them. Good luck to that. And again, it's an effort to draw you in. We'll see how that works. Some things that are stolen do shock you. Well, especially when somebody goes to a church or something and takes something, you go, how could you? Well, this ranks up there of trying to get medical help. Stolen identity. The guy's been arrested in Memphis for impersonating a veteran and trying to get services at the Veterans Hospital. He's been arrested and he'll be charged there. Several crimes involved with that when you impersonate someone from the military. That's just my first time on that. That's why it shocked me there. This is a tradition, just like it is in New Orleans. Now, do we all think that sometimes horses are mistreated? Yes, we do. But it's a part of the romance of New York. It's a part of the romance of New Orleans, the horse and carriage rides that you can take. A proposal to ban those has been thrown out. It was voted down by the New York City Council. They will continue horse and carriage rides. What was it, a year or so ago, we had a horse die in the heat, and it was a petition put up to ban that. It's not going to happen. I do think they need to take care of those horses better from time to time. I think most would agree with that. Some things just rattle you. You see it and you think, why does this person not get it? The guy, Mohammed, whatever his name is, that's just been elected the mayor of New York, gave a speech this weekend, and he was jumping on Starbucks for the CEO, or the owner rather, of making money, and that he should give the money to the employees. Well, you've got to back up and think about this. The guy does pay his employees, but it was his idea. The man who went to the bank and borrowed the money, who went out on a limb, probably done without in the beginning to make things work. Now, I don't know the story of Starbucks. I've never read it. But I know most small businesses start that way. They're the first one at work. They turn the light on. They're the last one to leave. They do without, in most cases, so that employees can have. And they work for years to make it happen. And he wants this man to turn everything he's made over to someone else. Just doesn't work that way in America. Now, there are some that will disagree with me who've never taken that adventure and tried to make it on their own or ran a family budget. When you've got $800, that means you have $800 and you cannot go past it. There is no credit, and you make things work within those budgets there. You finally scrape up enough to do something on your own, and someone going to take it from you? Some will get that, some will not. And that's just the truth of the matter. D.C. is where we go next. It is always so. It's a letdown when a child is arrested, is it not? And that's what we have here. A 12-year-old girl. It was a gang of them. They robbed two different sets of people. One taking food, groceries from somebody, and then taking a moped from another group. She's been arrested. Others are expected to follow. 12 years old. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in every city, because it does. Just pointing out, 12 years old, a life of crime already. One would hope that it'll straighten her to the straight and narrow. Odds are that she'll just learn to get better, won't she? We'll see. I watched the very first installment of these films. I hadn't watched. Woody Harrelson, I think, was in the first one. Y'all remember something called Now You See Me, Now You Don't?
Oh, yeah.
It was a magic show. And they had another one that went to the theaters over the weekend. The third installment of that came out, and it is the number one. It went past The Running Man at the box office for the number one movie over the weekend. I saw the previews to Running Man and thought, who would want to see that? Hadn't seen the previews to this one, but congratulations to them. Pretty soon it won't be at the box office. It will be what was number one at home. That day is coming, whether movie executives or theaters around America want to admit it. But that day is coming. It will be what was number one and downloaded at the house. We're not far from that. Now, I've read everything I could on this, and there's been no light as to what happened. Apparently, in Maryville, Tennessee, there was a motorcade, J.D. Vance. A local police officer and a state trooper were involved in an accident. But nowhere can I find what caused the accident. I only know that one of them is in critical condition from the motorcade wreck. But there's no explanation as to what happened. We hope to find out more about this. Maryville, Tennessee is where all that happened. Eventually, I suppose it will come out, but at this point, all we know is one in critical condition that was involved in the motorcade. JD was not hurt in any way, and it didn't involve any of the feds. Don't know how they came to hit one another. Do you remember the guy that showed up with a baseball bat last week to the New Jersey Federal Building? Yeah, he's been caught. There he is. FBI knows your name, and you're in jail now. Took a couple of days, but they got him there. Don't be doing that. What was he going to do? Couldn't have been any good. No. There's no way. We don't know who, but somewhere out there's somebody that's a billionaire this morning. Oh, yeah, it happened over the weekend as a jackpot winner was drawn from Friday night's drawing. It was from Georgia. There's somebody sitting with a new Z71 already in the front yard. Might be your first indication that they won. $1 billion. Can y'all imagine? If I'm understanding, it was a $2 ticket that was bought. It wasn't $100 worth. It wasn't $200 worth. It was a single $2 ticket, I think. I was teasing Odie about that a few weeks ago. I said, what are you going to do with just one? He goes, I'll win. We still got the hope. We got the hope. Now, the other one, I think this brings this down to like $50 million, and then the other one hasn't been drawn for yet. Powerball's still out there, isn't it? Yeah. A lot of money involved with it. For those of you who throw that $2 a week or whatever it is towards it.
The Mega Millions are $5 ticket.
Yeah, that's a $5 high one.
Yeah.
$5. But $5 for $1 billion.
I'll take that swap any day.
That was a good investment. And we do hope whoever it is does good with it. Now, we've all seen those shows of how being a lottery winner ruined my life. It'd be good to help other people, wouldn't it? Venezuela getting ready to be designated as a terrorist group organization. The USS Gerald Ford has arrived in the Caribbean. Front row. We'll see what becomes of that also. Those aircraft carriers mean business when they arrive. This week, expected to happen, it could be anywhere from $1 billion to $5 billion. Trump says he's going to sue the BBC. I think he will. Mm-hmm. Watch it. And if you think we're wrong, just sit down and watch it side by side as to what they did. A Louisiana inmate has been captured after escaping jail. He threw some form of a chemical on one of the officers and ran out the door and escaped. And I didn't know where this was. It was St. Mary's Parish Sheriff's Office where this happened. So I looked it up where this is. This is, let me show you this. This is where New Orleans is. It's to the southwest of there. Berwick is where that is. Highway 70, right along in there. If you're following Highway 90, there's Donner, Gibson. You're going up to Baldwin, that area there. I just never heard of that little town there, but that's where he escaped from. There's Donaldsonville. I know where that is. Gonzales is due south of there. Here's New Orleans there. He escaped. He has been caught now, along with a 22-year-old that ran with him. We get an extra 5 years or so for doing that.
Something like that.
I guess that 3 minutes or 24 hours worth of freedom was worth it. 5 more added to that jail cell. Kenny Easley, anybody know him? He played with the Seahawks. Used to be the NFL there. He was a safety. He has passed away at the age of 66. Condolences to that family there. Let's see, the highway to McGee, dangerous highway there. Road construction, Diane says. I've just never been there. If I did, I wasn't paying attention. I blinked and missed it there. And I'm not running someone down. I don't guess I know everything. But did you see the guy that was a food influencer? Well, let me look up his name so I will get it right. Michael Durrett. He, Good Morning America and a few other places are doing all these condolences to him, and his wife is saying that he leaves behind I guess you would call it a legacy, is what she's trying to say there, and all the prayers. On the other side of the fence, this man charged police with a knife. They took him out. He was threatening EMS workers. They were called to wherever he was, and he came after them with a knife. He was put down when he told them, "I'm going to blank you." I don't know. Was it a mental breakdown? We don't know. That part hadn't been released there, but I understand someone's wife wanting to remember him, but short of a hero for sure when you threaten those who protect us. Road rage. Oh, how awful this is. In Nevada, 11-year-old was killed on her way to school during a road rage event. Breaks my heart to even tell you that, but that did happen there. After Scuba Tech quit being a part of Last Chance U, I didn't watch it anymore. I watched a few episodes because it was home. But this guy that John Beam, who was on the show, they've made an arrest in his murder. It was a 27-year-old that played football but never played football under this guy. All that police will say is they could have known each other because of John's outreach to the community of how he cared for people and would do anything to help others. That's all they're saying at this point. But they have made an arrest in his murder. That's peculiar, to say the least. We certainly hate it there. Hey, no one knew that Connecticut had a governor, did they?
No.
He's announced he's running for his 3rd term. I suggest chopping wood. It's November. It's going to be cold in Connecticut before long. Congratulations. Ned Lamont has announced he's going to be running for governor one more time. Good luck with that there. 1988, a cold case has been cracked. And it ties to 3 to 4 other young ladies. Now, the person that they have identified through DNA is no longer here. He died. He was 63. She was killed near Richmond back in 1988. Last time she was seen, she was walking. DNA puts this guy at the scene. His last name was Powell, is who he was. She was Lori Ann Powell, was her name. And I know that it's saying that, well, the family, Alan Williams Sr., is Wilmer Sr. is the guy who done it. I know that there is closure, but it still doesn't hurt the pain, does it? At least they know who did it at this point. And again, it was DNA without a shadow of a doubt that put him there. We had 4 killed, 5 rescued after a boat capsized near San Diego Beach. All illegal aliens on board. Again, 4 perished, 5 were saved from the waters. We'll be right back as we get into your forecast. Already 6:49 this morning. A big welcome to WMOX as they're waking up joining us this morning. We appreciate them broadcasting with us. We're going to get into weather forecast here in just a moment. Go over all of that next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 19. Okay, welcome back as we get into our forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Those record highs and record lows back in 16. It was a warm 83 today. Anybody remember 1997? I sort of kind of do. But man, that's starting to be a few years ago. It was 23 this morning in 1997. Brr! I was still a resident of Scuba, Mississippi at that point in time. As we look at our record highs and lows, today we'll see 76 in Meridian. Cooler in Philadelphia if you're walking down the streets, about 74. As we get near the state line, up around Tupelo, 71, 68 there at Corinth and Iuka, Mississippi. We'll get up to 81 in Vicksburg. Hot over there around Natchez as well. And to the coast, we'll see 74 there along Highway 90. Tonight's low, only about 55. We're at 51 now. Expect to be just a little bit warmer in the morning. We'll see the same in Philadelphia for tonight, 54 in Columbus. South Haven, up around Tunica, we should see 60 overnight as we come down to Vicksburg at 61. In Gulfport, not bad, 62 overnight if you're going to be watching a sunset on the beach there. Now, as we turn to Bama this morning, we'll see 74 in Demopolis, 70 in Birmingham. That's not bad at all. Gadsden should see 68. And to the south, Montgomery, little Hankland over there, 74 expected for the high today. Now, here's what we got. This is why it's warmer, with this bringing rain before it's over this week. Warmer weather, even warmer in eastern Georgia. Now, here's our 7-day forecast as we'll see 76 today and hotter in between Tuesday and Friday before temperatures start going down after the rain. 82 tomorrow. We'll see 83 on Wednesday. Still hovering at 80 and 81 on Friday. By nighttime, we'll have a 60% chance of showers during the day and a 50% chance that night. Covered grandstands at the Agri Center as we bring the rodeo in. 75 on Saturday as the rain starts decreasing to a 40% chance of rain. By Sunday, we'll have a 30% chance there. If you need to put out any seed, if you need to put some ammonia out for your pastures, along about Thursday, have it done.
Shuttle will be available for the...
Shuttle?
Yep.
Okay. And from the mall area?
No. From
Shuttle?
the bottom parking lot up to the gate.
Okay, so in the
just
parking
inside the
lot.
field,
Okay,
yeah.
Inside the arena parking area at the Agri Center, there will be a shuttle going up so you won't get wet. That's
We'll
nice.
have a tent to get under and then shuttle up to the top.
Tents? Boy, y'all been planning.
Yeah.
So that's good news there. Here's what we've got all the way through December the 1st. Can y'all believe I just said December the 1st is already in the forecast? It's there. 72 a week from today. Then we'll finally get back to the 50s come November the 28th. That'll be right after Thanksgiving showers. The temperatures will start going down. Woo, what is that, the 29th? 37? Somebody get an electric blanket. Hurry, get it in, order it now. As we'll get to the 1st of December, it's 62. Showers in the forecast that day with a low of 38 that night. Now, don't get panicked. That's 38. It's not below 32 with showers. As we move into our fishing forecast for today, not bad. The wind's going to be east-south wind, 5 to 10 is what we're expecting today. Major times to fish today will be about 8:40 this morning to 10:40. Not bad. A minor time this afternoon beginning at 2:15 to 4:15. Sunrise happens at 6:26. Now, as we get into this deer hunting calendar today, it's getting better. Wimberley Taxidermy brings it to us, and again, we've got a better day to hunt today. Major times will be this morning between 8:43 and 10:43. A minor time will be this afternoon at 2:42 until 3:42. So you got an hour there, roughly from 3 to 4 being the best. Sit till dark, it won't hurt you, but your best time this afternoon will be 3 to 4 if you can't get off. Sunrise happens at 6:26. Sunset rolls in at 4:53. So what's going on in the big wide world of the hurricane? What's going on out there? Still absolutely nothing. Isn't it wonderful? National Hurricane Center is not expecting anything in the next 7 days. We can get a hallelujah out of that. We have had a wonderful year when it comes to those. They just haven't messed with us at all. Let's go back and look at live radar now of what we've got going on this morning. Again, we've got heavy fog out to our southwest of Mississippi into Louisiana, into portions of Beaumont, making its way toward that area right there. There's Houston. It's on the outskirts there around Baytown. Lots of fog. Down to Slidell, we've got it there. A little bit to the southeast of Mobile this morning. But if you're headed into Baton Rouge, anywhere around that area there, it is thick fog in all of those areas. Or Donaldsonville, it's thick. Barely be able to get across the river there without seeing it. The rest of Mississippi looks good. We've got a little bit of fog showing up here around Birmingham, up around Steele, those areas, Pell City, Highland. Not bad, but a little bit there as we see Columbus and Ocala, Florida, Gainesville area with some fog as well as we go up through here. Not as bad as it normally is around Charleston. Not bad at all. But what is this we spy here, Syracuse? We got a lot of snow up there this morning. Boy, am I glad I'm sitting where I am. State College there, Pennsylvania, Glen Ritchie. A lot of it happening there this morning. Pittsburgh looks okay, but off to the northeast there we do have some in that area there. So that's a quick look at the forecast this morning as we all gather together. Good morning from Mobile. Millie, how are you doing today? Carl, good to see you up and at 'em. Odie's here. I can hear the coffee machine bellowing in the background, which means we're moments away from the morning show. Now that'll get underway at 7 o'clock. We hope you'll do here. We got a lot to talk about what went on over the weekend. Join us, won't you? It'll all come up in just a moment. All the details with Scotty Ray. Here at the Scotty Ray Report. Odie joins us at 7.